Hi everybody, welcome to part 1 of the medieval tunnel system tutorial. This tutorial is going to come in 3 parts. One just being an overview of walking through the tunnels and giving you a quick explanation and letting you see what you can do and how the pieces fit together nicely. Part 2 is going to be just a tutorial on the pieces snapping to the grid, and I do a quick demonstration on how fast and easily you can put the tunnel pieces together to make your own tunnel system or dungeon or what have you. As you can see, the tunnel pieces come together. It's pretty seamless. As I've walked over all these individual sections, they come together very nicely and you can't really tell where one piece starts or one piece ends. I'm pretty happy with the overall outcome of it. Like I was saying, it is a 25-piece kit with, I think, 21 actual tunnel sections, some torches, some doors, and some separation walls. I do plan on an expansion kit for this as well. I just need to get this base tunnel kit out, and I'm kind of excited because I'm very happy about the way that it turned out for everybody. Here's an overview of all the pieces that come in the kit. Starting over here on the left, you can see there's some separation walls with some double doors, wooden door, just a basic kind of rough looking timber door here. We have wall torch with a solid separation wall, a scripted ladder that has a climbing animation, some chambers that can come off of your let me cam in here, some chambers that can come off of your tunnel system for dungeons or storage or whatever you want to use. Be creative. Intersections, we have a 3-way intersection here, a 4-way intersection here. And moving over here to the 90-degree bends, I want to let everybody know that I did include reverse sections for anything that it was needed for. For instance, you see here there's a 90-degree bend with a 2-meter rise that we're looking at, meaning from this point right here to this point right here, it turns 90 degrees and it rises exactly 2 meters. All the pieces in the kit that have turns or twists are in 2-meter increments exactly, so that way you can kind of gauge how high you're going and how low you're going just by looking at the pieces. 2 of these pieces together would be a 4-meter rise, and 3 pieces together will be a 6-meter rise, so on and so forth. I'm sure you understand. But you can see this one turns to the left and it goes up, whereas this one will be a reverse piece which turns to the left and goes down, which, you know, will make it kind of handy because you might find yourself in a pinch where you need to turn a certain way and go down, or turn a certain way and go up. I thought it'd be kind of handy. And then you have your regular 90-degree flat bend here. A 45-degree turn, I'll talk more about that later. Here we have a tunnel entrance hatch or exit hatch, and this is basically made to go up to the floor in a castle, the floor in a dungeon, a secret entrance in a floor or a rock pile or something. I'll leave that to you to get creative with. But it also does have the ladder here that's animated and scripted, so all you have to do is touch the ladder and you'll go ahead and climb it, and touch the top of the ladder and you'll climb back down. Over here, I do want to cover this. This is important because a lot of people are going to scratch their heads about it. There are 2 sets of staircases. You can see them right here. I have one on the right here and one on the left here. One of the staircases is named access stairs. The other one is named inner stairs. And there's a reason for that. If you look, you can see that one staircase is slightly taller than the other. And here's why. The access stairs are made to come from a castle wall, a door on the wall somewhere in a perimeter or a courtyard or something, and it goes down enough that your main floor, which would be this step right here where you're coming in at, clears over top of your tunnel, which would be this section right here, so your floor can continue across the top of the tunnel. It's, I believe, 6.5 meters is the rise for that. So this would be an access staircase, obviously for the reasons that I just said. Now this staircase over here, which is I named inner stairs, this is an exact 6-meter rise, meaning from the top of this stair to the bottom of this step is exactly 6 meters. And what this will do, this will allow you to use the staircase as an inner piece. As I was talking about a few moments ago, if you use 3 of these pieces that have rise, which would be 2 meters each, if you use 3 of these together, you'll have risen 6 meters. Some point in the tunnel system or whatever you're designing, you might want to come back down to the original level and connect those tunnels up with the existing structure. So you can either use 3 more pieces, which will take you back down because they're all 2 meters, or you can just use the 6-meter staircase, the inner stairs. I hope I didn't make that too complicated. You'll figure it out. Over here you have a little bit more fancy pieces. We have little S shifts that shift over 2 meters and they shift up 2 meters. Everything that changes height or direction side to side is 2 meters, just to make it easy and understandable, so when you're putting it together in your head you can realize, you know, how high you're going and how low you're going. You can see again there's a reverse section, an S curve to the left that rises 2 meters. And then down here in front we have just regular flat S turns to the left and to the right, which I believe I have them reversed. I think I named them reverse S curve and S curve reverse, but again you can figure that out. Here we have a straight piece that rises 2 meters, and then you're going to see here we have 3 pieces that are straight. They look identical except they're smaller and smaller. The reason for this is I've designed 3 pieces of section or 3 pieces of straight wall sections, because sometimes you're going to need a 1 meter piece and sometimes you're going to need an 8 meter piece to fill a gap that you made in your tunnel. I designed this in, you will see here, 2 meter increment, a 5 meter increment, and an 8 meter increment. And the reason I did that is because you can take a 2 meter section and you can expand it to 3 meters and it doesn't really do too much to the texture, and you can also take it down to 1 meter and it won't be too bad looking. It'll kind of keep your textures looking the same size, even though they're not going to be. So this one piece that is 2 meters could be used as a 1 meter wide piece, a 2 meter wide piece, or a 3 meter wide piece. Now with the 5 meter section, you can do the same thing. You can use it as a 4 meter section, a 5 meter section, or a 6 meter section. And of course, the last section here, which is 8 meters, you can use it for 7 meters, 8 meters, or 9 meters, depending on how big your gap is. And again, the reason that I did this is to try to keep the textures as smooth looking and properly aligned and symmetrical to all the other tunnel textures. It's never going to be exact, but it came out pretty close, so I'm happy with it. Over here we have the wall sections. These are designed just basically to fit into any of the arch openings. If you want doors going into the chambers so you can lock them, you have a couple options. You have the double doors here, the double steel doors, and just the old wooden looking door here. They are scripted and they are resed separately from the wall section, so you'll have to put your wall sections in and then fit your doors in. Over here, just I plan on doing an advanced lighting kit with more options, but I figured I would throw in a torch set because what kind of tunnel system wouldn't have a torch set, right? That wouldn't be any fun at all. I'm sitting off the wall. There we go. I think I covered everything that I want to in the intro. I do want to state that I know some people might be confused with the transparencies. It looks like half the tunnels are there. And the reason for that is when you're working with mesh, oh, this is a mesh set, by the way. When you're working with mesh, the polys only register on one side, poly being the big flat squares that make up the walls that you see. There's no sense in having the polys visible from the outside of the tunnels. So you know, why would you want to double your prim count just so you can see an outside of a tunnel that you're never going to see from the inside? So even though it looks like there's nothing here in this space right here, once you get inside the tunnel, you can see that there actually is walls here. Plus it's going to make it easier for lining your pieces up and putting your tunnel system together, which I'm going to show you in the next part. I think that covers it, and I'm going to go ahead and get started on part 2.